Beloved Saints, today's 5-minute message of redemptive history is about Jehoahaz in the history of the kings who were omitted from the third period in the Matthew genealogy, from the 5th book of redemptive history series, The Promise of the Eternal Covenant. The genealogy of Jesus Christ in Matthew chapter 1 records that Josiah became the father of Jeconiah, who was also called Jehoiachin. Cross-referencing with the actual genealogy of the kings reveals that Jeconiah or Jehoiachin was not Josiah's son. In fact, he was his grandson. This indicates that there are kings whose names have been omitted in the genealogy of Jesus Christ around the time of the deportation to Babylon. The kings omitted from the genealogy of Jesus Christ are Jehoahaz, Jehoiakim, and Zedekiah. At this time, let us examine Jehoahaz, who succeeded Josiah as the 17th king of Judah. The name Jehoahaz means the Lord has grasped or the Lord has seized. First, Jehoahaz was the first to become king ahead of his 3 brothers. When we look in the Bible, Josiah had 4 sons, Johanan, Jehoiakim, Shallum or Jehoahaz, and Zedekiah. However, the order of accession differs from the order of birth. Jehoahaz, the 3rd son, was the first to become king after his father Josiah. He probably ascended the throne first because his strength and abilities exceeded those of his brothers, and this was recognized by the people. The people must have had great expectations when they chose Jehoahaz as their new king, that he would surely succeed his father's faith and establish the nation to become wealthy and strong. Second, Jehoahaz was as brutal as a young lion. Prophet Ezekiel was active during this period in which the kingdom was about to fall. He likened Jehoahaz, who ruled toward the end of the kingdom's history, to a young lion that devoured men. Ezekiel 19 verse 3 states, "When she brought up one of her cubs, he became a lion, and he learned to tear his prey. He devoured men." This is a reflection of how he had killed, abused, oppressed, and plundered his own people as soon as he came to power during his short 3-month reign. Although the Bible does not record in detail all of his evil deeds, it sums them up with the statement in 2 Kings 23 verse 32, which states, "He did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his fathers had done." Josephus, who was a historian of the 1st century, also described Jehoahaz as an impious man and impure in his course of life. Third, Jehoahaz was taken captive to Egypt and died there. After the victory at the Battle of Megiddo, Pharaoh Necho exercised great power over Judah. Jehoahaz was taken like a beast by hooks in his nose, and it was a wretched manner in which he was taken captive to Egypt. Jehoahaz was unable to return after he was taken captive, and he died there. Jehoahaz met such a tragic end because he trusted in his own abilities rather than in God and practiced anti-Egyptian policies. He was proud and did not realize that all his abilities were the result of God's grace. Therefore, we must realize that any of our abilities that exceed those of others are given to us completely by God's grace, and give thanks to Him for them. Furthermore, we must all the more strive to live a life that God upholds. Beloved Saints, Shallum was Jehoahaz's other name. It means peaceful or secure. If Jehoahaz had lived a peaceful and secure life that God upholds in keeping with the meaning of his name, then the whole nation would have enjoyed great abundance along with the peace that God gives. We need to learn from this and must not become proud or arrogant like Jehoahaz. I pray that we will live a life of humbleness that God upholds and enjoy the overflowing blessing of peace. I bless in the name of the Lord.